All right, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are around this beautiful world. Welcome to another Inner Circle Live Asian session. I'm your host, Benny Allen, and also with us is my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And maybe tonight, the awesome and amazing Casey Jackson may pop in. We will see. But with that being said, everybody, as always, drop me a one in the chat. We always want to make sure that everybody can hear us loud and clear. All right, there we go. There we go. So without further ado, it is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper to take notes, and let's make sure that we definitely participate and engage tonight. Makes things fun when we ask lots of questions, and it helps everybody to gain a better understanding. So definitely don't be shy. Feel free to take your microphone off mute if you have a question. The only thing that we ask is that if you are not asking a question, just make sure that you're aware to keep your microphone on mute. And if you don't want to use your microphone to ask a question, you can always type your question in the chat. So just a brief disclaimer, trading the Forex market is risky. Never risk money that you cannot afford to lose. I am not a CTA, which stands for Commodities Trading Advisor, meaning that this is for educational purposes only again. And we can teach you the fundamentals. We can teach you the technicals. We can show you the type of setups that we like and what we're thinking about getting into. But at the end of the day, it is 100% up to you to be responsible and accountable for your own account. And just on a side note, as an additional disclaimer, yes, we have a lot of people, right, that are duplicating accounts, fake accounts, right, to look like myself, Ryan, Casey for sure, right? It's getting pretty bad. Just know, right, that we'll never reach out to you and ask for money or anything like that. You guys know where to find us in the Facebook group and in the inner circle. So please do not fall for any of the nonsense that's going around out there. I wish they would do something about it, but don't seem like they're acting too fast. So with that being said, before we get turned into the charts, because there's definitely a lot of things that we want to go over tonight. Happy September 1st, right? The summertime is over. Really time to get rocking and rolling. And there's some things setting up technically on the charts that we want to make sure that we cover. But before we get going, we want to make sure that my partner Ryan wants to kick us off tonight and just cover a few very important things. So Ryan, if you're there, I think I got you set up, and
yes, sir.
We can go ahead and get things going.
What's happening, everybody? Thanks, Benny. I appreciate you, man.
You're welcome.
Just want to talk to everybody about the platform that we have set up for you guys, right? So we have the platform designed, especially to our newer folks. We try to make it as simple and as easy as possible for you to access everything that's there, right? So we have your educational curriculum all there in sequential order, step by step. I've seen some folks start to put some homework assignments into the community. As you're going through those assignments, be sure to do the homework, post those in the community. When you post them in the community, take your screenshot or post the link for your saved chart in the community, in the feed section. You'll have to add some text to that so that it'll allow you to post. So remember to add some text, tell us the pair that you're looking at and the time frame, and we'll be able to take a look at that and give you some feedback there. The next thing is mindset is 90% of this game, right? We do the Mindset Monday sessions, and we started to really gain some traction, get some really good feedback, and see some growth in everybody that attends. But as you're coming in and as you're digging in, as you're going through that curriculum, be sure to go into the mindset topic and review all of the mindset videos. We have this designed for a specific reason, because mindset is an extremely large portion of this game, right? And in order to be successful, one of the things you have to learn how to manage is your mind, and your emotions. So that's why we have that set up. So be sure to go in and watch those videos, starting back from June 7th, right? We walk through a specific process, especially at the beginning, to make sure that you have a certain approach and a certain understanding and a baseline framework to build from, okay? So be sure to look at that mindset section. We're going to make some changes to the curriculum so that some of those can be added into the curriculum, but be sure to go back and watch all of those videos. You can ask some of your peers in the community their feedback on the Mindset Monday sessions, but they're extremely important, and they've proven to be very helpful as we've grown this community and as we continue to grow this community. So be sure to go in and watch those videos and take the notes, do the homework from those videos as well, because it won't just help you in trading, but it'll also help you in life. We've seen that this trading space a lot of times gives us some reflection on things that are happening in our personal life as well, right? So it's not just about trading, it's about who we are as people, the impact that we have and that we can have and that we will have on the world as we continue to move forward. So be sure to check out those sections, continue digging in, continue showing up for yourself. We greatly appreciate you guys.
All right, awesome. Thanks for adding that in there in the beginning.
Thank you, Ryan.
That's very, very important.
You're welcome.
Super important. None of this matters. None of anything that we go over, right, is gonna be all for naught if we don't have the right mindset, right, coming into the game. Every time that we click our computers on and we open up the charts, if we're not in the right mindset, right, it's not. The majority of the time it's not going to end well, right? We know that whenever we click the button, it's a 50-50 shot, right, buy or sell. But everything that we're doing is to help gain the edge in the market, right? So that we become the house. And that mindset is the number one thing, right? Our mindset has to be right. Has to be right. So thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
All right. So we are going to go hard and fast tonight as we want to get through several of the setups. So good evening, everybody that just joined us. So let's get going. And I want everybody to make sure you have your pen and paper ready because we are going to point out some setups that we need to be aware of, okay, as we move throughout the evening. So the first one we're going to take a look at is we're going to look at the Aussie CAD. So we were looking at the Aussie pairs last night, right, talking about the the top-down analysis and the wave process from the higher time frames to the lower time frames. Then also because we had a fundamental announcement in regards to the Aussie pairs last night, but we can see what's happened right since then. Okay, so you can see things have changed a little bit. It continued to push up, right? So if we're on the daily, we got a break of this inner trend line. And what could be happening here, right? This is the Aussie versus the CAD. You got a commodity, you got two commodity currencies. That Aussie is showing some good strength. We know that oil price is bouncing around for the CAD, right? Plus there's some other economic data that came out for the Canadian dollar. But all in all, from the technical side, we can see that we've got a nice bullish candle that broke this down trend line, and we're pushing up to this past area, right? That's becoming resistance again. Okay, so here's the resistance level that we're headed towards. Okay, you can see it here, and we look like we could, right, if that Aussie stays strong. Look, we've got a down AB boundary here. Okay, so if we take a look at this, all right, and we'll just zoom out and take a full picture, right, because this has been to the downside. Okay, clearly to the downside, right? Clearly to the downside. The last major impulse move was to the upside, right? So if we drop our fibs on here, we can see that target, okay? Right? We can see what's happening where we're getting this U-turn at this 786 level, okay, and daily support. So we've got a break of this inner trend line, okay? So we'll see, right? We play it how we see it down on the lower time frames, all right? So now we've got a bit of a reversal action going on. The down trend line has been broken and price has pushed to the upside. Okay, so long term, when you look at this, okay, if I clear this out here, okay, and what could be happening over the long term is that if you just look at the price action and structure and you look at the pattern here and you draw your trend line, okay, like so. All right. So we draw our uptrend line and we can see where we got a clean trend line breaks, right? Okay. So we got the trend line break, right? So we see the directional shift and we can see the speed and momentum of the market pushing downwards. Okay, so if you zoom out and you look, this was a major, major low here, okay, that was broken. So this area, let me get this consolidation box out of here and clean it up a little bit. So price pushed down, right? At the B boundary, we didn't get the retracement. It consolidated and it pushed down, all right? We got a major low that was taken out right here, okay? Now you're looking at the potential of a pullback, okay? So this is how, one, price breaks out the trend, breaks the trend line. Two, we take out that major level. We say price takes out the A. This was the A at one point. Okay, three, find your left tip. Four, C, your right tip. Okay, so you have the potential, if price wants to continue to push up, of a crown type formation here. Okay, like so. All right, like that. Okay, 100%, right on the nose. All right, if that were to occur. So you can see this major low was taken out, right? So price didn't hold here. Okay, price did not hold here, so it didn't hold at this level. Okay, price didn't hold at this major low and push up like so, because then we would have what? A head and shoulders. Okay, instead it broke this low, which would be your neckline. Okay, that would be your neckline. So that gives you, okay, a different type of pattern potentially. So just something to keep in mind as we think about this, right? We broke this low. We broke the neckline, then we got the pullback. Okay, so price didn't settle, right, at this level and push up and give us a right shoulder. It broke it first and pulled back. So that's a crown. Okay, slight difference there between the two patterns, but it's very, very important, because if you play this right as if it's some sort of head and shoulders pattern, then the pattern doesn't hold because it breaks. It would break back up beyond the neckline instead of retesting the neckline. Typically, when you have a head and shoulders pattern, okay, on a play, so if you had a head and shoulders pattern, typically here, okay, here, back down to here, and back up. And then how that typically plays is that you get a break, okay, of your neckline, like so, but the neckline breaks, but then price only pushes up typically, okay, to retest that neckline. So this was your neckline here, like so, okay. Price typically will push up to retest that neckline and then head back down to the downside, okay. But what happened here with your crown, okay, is price broke that neckline first. Now it's trying to pull back. Okay, so slight difference, but just something to keep on your radar on the future when we look at this pair. But right now, we've got that downtrend line that was broken, and price is pushing up. The Aussie is being pretty aggressive right now. We know that the market moves in waves, right? I cannot click on this anymore. All right, I'll figure that out later. So what we could be chasing is this this daily 382 at least, and then we'll see if it continues to push up to catch the right tip of the crown. So right now, when you go to your lower time frame, you're looking bullish, right? So we've made it back up, right, towards that downtrend line to the downside. Okay, so if we zoom out like this, We're bringing my other fibs back into play here. Okay. And it's exactly what we were looking at, like that. So now we've got this 1 hour fib that's saying, hey, we've got almost a 50, well, we've got a 50% play up against the trend line. It pushed down, but now we've got price that broke this trend line and pushing up. So the play that we have right now, okay, that we want to pay attention to is we have a brand new AB boundary. Okay. So write this down. We've got a up AB boundary on the Aussie CAD, potential for the 80-20 play. Okay. So if you're willing to play the B to C move, right, you have a potential short opportunity here at the B boundary or the 118, 127 zone if we make a shallow retracement. So like this, we're either looking at the play here to the downside, or right, we're looking at that shallow retracement swing type setup, and then we make our way down. So if you want to play that and play the bear on that, there's your counter trend trade. If you're saying, hey, I like that Aussie CAD strong, I don't want to play that, I want to just wait for the low price because I think it's going to chase that 382 level from the daily, then you wait to get a nice discounted price. Either way, we like to see price action take us out. So whether you're trading that B2C move, right, and it's the same thing over and over again. So if you're looking to play that B2C move, here's a potential setup here. If you're a bull on this, then as a bull, you wait for the discounted price and then you take it long, right? So if you're a bull, okay, we're coming short to our sweet spot, and then we look for the potential to go long, right? If we want to be bullish to that 382. Okay. Any questions on that Aussie CAD? I want to make sure.
Phil asked a question back on the daily time frame. Why is that level, which on the Head and Shoulders would have been that neckline, right? The previous low. Right. Why are you considering that a major level? A
major level on the fib? Because right here, this major low level.
Yeah. Why is that a major level?
Yeah. So if you run your fib here, okay, and you see how it made this ABCD wave right here, pushing up to the top that it almost got there. If you run a fib here, okay, and it's just something that I know how to eyeball now, right, over the years. But if you ran a fib there, that's a previous A right there, low. So this is a major low. This is a major pullback within that zone. It's a sub A, and it got pushed down and it got taken out, right? So you look for the potential swing back up, okay? You look for the potential swing back up to this level from there, right? It's just something that you see over time and you just know. And then when you look at the fibs, that was the major pullback, right? Which is another signal. This was the first major pullback here to the 50, and then price came back down into the zone and created a lower low from this first low. You see that? So this was the initial C in the move, okay, and it took off, and we didn't get the extension to be hit. Okay, that was the initial C, right? And we know, right, either from the sub fib range or how fibs typically play out, if this fib would have finished out at the D extension, which it came within some pips, right, at the D extension, then our old C becomes our new what? A, right? That's why we say, hey, price takes out the A, right? So it's just something that, which is spatial intelligence over time, that you'll just see and know and be able to visualize. But technically, this would have been your new A had this fib finished out. So that's why we say price takes out the A, right? But on top of that, this was your lowest point in the AB boundary at the time on this active fib, and then it started to progress up. So if you take it at that sub fib A, the first one in the cycle, or the fact that this potentially would have been your new A and your AB fib had that finished out. So just something that you just learn over time. Yeah, and you just notice. Good question. Any other questions on that?
None in the chat.
Okay. All right. So this would have been, so if this would have finished out, think about it. Okay. And this is how you can see it. if this for one, if you look at it two ways, this was your low within the zone, and then it pushed back down and made a lower low within the zone. Okay, so this is a key low. Two, what I'm trying to get across is that this here was an ABCD, it's an ABCD move, right? Like this. Okay. All right. If this hits that D extension, right, which it came within when probably 90, 95, 96%, something like that, of that D extension, then once a high formed, this would have been your new A. And guess what would have happened? When this impulse moved to the downside, right, push down, it would have took out your A. One, price breaks the trend line. Two, price takes out the A. Three, identify your left tip. Four, C, the future, right? 4C, your right tip. Okay, potentially, which is not even that high. It's really right here, right? Around that 780, around that 786, right? So I exaggerated that tip a little bit, but there's the high right there. So about a 786 pullback on that. Okay. That's how. Good question, Phil. We clear on that, or you good?
Yep, he said okay, thanks.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's where we are. I don't know why I can't, probably have to clear my whole chart and redo it. Can't get that pattern off of there now, but it's all good. So as we come down to the 1 hour time frame, right? Here's your play. Now, if you're more the lower time frame type, right? Here's your impulse move to the upside. Okay. So what you could do is, all right, we could come out of here. I could clear this out now, and we could focus on that one leg, right? Here it is, right? The fib took you right there. So even if you wanted to go to your 1 hour, okay, so you can have the visual and trace over that so you know where you are, you know where those extensions are, in case you get the shallow, okay? You could just line that up, transfer it down, okay, to your 15-minute, and that's where you are, okay? So now you can start to run your trend lines if you want to, like so, right? To the upside there. All right. Start to ride those in. So momentum and speed of the market, right? Okay, now we know we're pushing sideways. So if we bring another one up, okay, like so. Now I wouldn't bring it through here, it's pushing sideways, right? So you could just start to gauge this here. Keep it to the outside of that consolidation because you want to see a major breakdown to the downside on that, okay? Here's the support, plain as day, that's a swing low, right? So why we start out fundamentally on the videos teaching that, right? Swing low right there, which that's a major level of what? Support. Here, you got one from the consolidation and here, okay? So you got two levels of support that you got to look out for. So what you want to do, oops. So what you want to do is keep an eye on this if you're playing this on your lower time frames. Like so. And if you start to get price to break down, right? The fib is already giving us the signal. We got a new B boundary, high probability reversal zone, either at the B boundary or the 118, 127 zone. Is really, really that simple, everybody. Okay, that's simple, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you're playing that aggressively, right? If you're playing that aggressively there, here's your high, okay? Here's your high, okay? You're putting your stop somewhere above that high and you're pushing it to the downside, right? So if you're a more aggressive trader and you're looking for that U-turn and you're looking to be in, play that 2-to-1, 3-to-1, whatever it is, you like a tighter stop loss there, that's how you can play that boundary, okay? If price gets respected and it pushes up, it respects the trend line, and the momentum continues to the upside, right? Then we know it's just gonna move, right? So you just have to monitor, okay? You have to monitor the play, right? It continues to move up, right? It continues to move to the upside on you like that, then you just monitor, right? So that just widens the profit potential, right? Because if my TP, okay, is here at the 382, then the higher that push up off that shallow retracement, that's okay. Because then guess what? When it comes time for that trend line to break, I move it above that trend line. And whenever it starts to push down, if that's what it wants to do, now this here be another what? Support level, right? So this will be another support level eventually. Because it's going to make those waves and create higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so that'll be another support level. Okay, change the color on that. Potentially. So then you get the break, right? And then you look for price to make the reversal, like so. Okay, which typically when it makes that reversal, a lot of times, right? What we were talking about last night at those key zones, this is when you get your what? Your crown, right? Look. See? Price breaks the trend line, takes out the A, takes out that major low. Left tip 3, 4C to right tip and down, right? And that's how, if you play that, that's how you play your pullback and project your fib level to the downside, okay? So if you like those type of setups, you could do the same thing no matter what. The key is being able to properly place your fibs to identify the high probability U-turns, right? And we do the same thing over and over again, right? We don't teach it any different, right? We don't teach it any different. Repetition is the mother of all skill, like we always say. Okay, so you're never going to see us one night doing this and the next night doing that. It's hard to become a consistently profitable trader that way. All right, so here, and then your TP2, and then your TP3. That's how you could play it. If you wanted to take that down to the 5 minute, you do the same thing. Waves are waves, no matter what the time frame. Some just bigger, some just smaller, depending on the level. Okay, so that's the setup. Any questions on that?
Another question, Benny.
Yep.
So if price is going sideways and breaks through the trend line, would you enter the trade, especially if it's moving sideways?
If it gives me a strong, if I get a strong bearish, right, move, if I get a strong bearish candle that closes on that backside, right? So if I get that strong, if I get that strong bearish candle, right, that can break and close like that and close, then yeah, I could take that trade, right? If I'm playing this level like this, I'm typically very aggressive, right? You can wait for it to come down, right? You can wait for the candles to build out, come down, take out this major. This is a major one here. This was a major one here, right? See that wick had wicked and it respected that. So you may say, I need to see a break, right? And a pullback off of it. So then if you get price to start pulling back, okay, then you can look to potentially enter the trade. At that point, right, you have some fib levels, right? You have a fib going, but I'll tell you right now, you got a fib going on this now. I can see that, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? That took it out, right? So it's starting all over again because it pushed up higher and took that level out. So if you get a trend line break, if I get a nice bearish candle there that takes out this first support and it closes beyond the trend line, I may take that, right? My stop loss is here. But if you're playing high risk to reward like that, you can't be surprised when you get stopped out. You just take the L, right? That's why you see those type of traders, their win percentage is only 35, 40%, right? But they're trading 5R, 6R, 7R on the risk to reward, right? So, but you have to have a stomach for that. If you're the type of person that you can't stand a loss, then you might want to think twice about playing these moves, right? You got to know yourself to grow yourself, right? You got to know yourself to grow your account too. So, you know, it depends on the type of trader that you are and that you're going to develop into and what you have a tolerance for, right? If you don't mind losing, you know, 6 out of 10 trades, and you're good with that because the ones that you win wipe out all your losses and you're in profit, then that's cool. But that's typically when you run with tight stops like this, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a lower win percentage. Now, we typically tend to trade a little higher on the win percentage because of our ability to consistently find the high probability U-turn points using the fibs, right? So we're a little bit better than most. But, you know, if you can't stand taking those L's, right, then, you know, then you got to think twice about that, and then you widen that stop, or you put a rule in your playbook and you say, you know what, I don't want to play this. I'll only play these moves. I'll sit on my hands. And if price makes a shallow retracement, right? Think about this, guys, okay? Right? You use more discretion. You become more conservative on these, right? So if you want to play these moves and you say, hey, I want to put a little bit more size on my trades, maybe I don't want to risk, you know, 2-3% or whatever, okay? Then you wait. You might say, hey, I'm going to be on the lookout for 127 setups, right? Because we know that at that point, it's a high probability U-turn area after a shallow retracement. So I'll wait, right? I'll stop the charts, you know, and I'll look for 127s, right? 127s, that pure 80-20. And if I see that I got a shallow retracement on the one and price is pushed up to a 127, I'll come down to the 15, draw that trend line, and I'm just going to wait, right? I'm just going to be like a lion waiting in the bush. And when it breaks that trend line, right, I'm putting my stop above the high. And when I get that trend line break, whether you want to play it right off the trend line break with a strong bearish candle or whatnot, or a bearish close, or you want to play the pullback off the break, is up to you. But then you say, okay, those are the type of setups that I'm looking for. So you're going to trade less, right? Because a lot of times, right, it can be quality over quantity, but you got to develop the mindset that you're going to sit there and you're going to wait. You get paid to wait. Okay. So now you're trading a high probability move that could be explosive, right? But you're trading less. So you may only see 3-4 of those a week, right? And if you don't get them, then you don't trade. I hope everybody heard me when I said that, right? That's how tough you have to be when it comes to your rules. If I don't see it, my setup, my A+ setup that's in my playbook, my number one go-to play, right? 3rd down and 10, what's our go-to play? Our bread and butter, right? Or if I need 1 yard, if it's 4th and 1, what's my go-to play? Okay. If this is it, then that's all you're going to trade. Whether it's to the top side or to the bottom side, when you got that 127 to the downside and you're looking to buy. Okay. So we only trade a few areas and a few zones. That's the beauty of it, right? And we do the same thing over and over again. Any questions on that?
Got the message loud and clear, bro.
All right. So that's it, right? If you don't like playing this, hey man, I don't like that. If you U-turn and go back up, stop me out, that's fine. Then just wait. Just wait for the setup. So that's where we are on the Aussie CAD. All right. That's where we are. New AB boundary. Look here. So look, let's go back. If we go here, okay, to this last move, okay, and we take this down to the 15 on that last wave previous wave, and we go back, right? If you put your stop up above this level, right? You put your stop somewhere above that level, okay? Clearly see you didn't get stopped out on that, right? So it's just all a matter from that point of where the trend line broke. So we can even bring it off this other one, because it just continues to flow upward. So here would have been your inner trend line there, okay, like that. And if you zoom it in, okay, it don't matter now. If you zoom it in, this was, where's my high price? This was almost identical. Okay. Let's say this was my high price here, right? Looks like by like a pip or so. And I played that break. Okay. You got to push down, it came back and double top, but your stop is above, right? Right? You place it 10 pips above or whatnot, or whatever your rule is going to be for yourself. How tight you want to play it is totally up to you. Okay. But then when you get into it like that, you're looking at spreads, right? Depending on what side you're on. So, you know, you put it 10 pips above or so, and then you look to play the short. Here you got a double top at the B boundary, and then it fell off, right? So your risk on that, right? So you got in here somewhere with this, this is a nice close here, right? Nice close there to the downside, right? Hard to go back now. So we're playing hypothetical. But there's a bearish candle, okay? This one didn't close, clearly. Everybody can see that that did not close beyond the trend line. Okay, it didn't close. It failed to close. This one closed. Push sideways, that one closed. So you go in and you enter that trade here like this, okay? You enter here, you cause some drawdown, you didn't get stopped out. So now you zoom out a little bit and you look at this play, and maybe you don't play it to the 3. You could play it to the 3 to 2. You can say, hey, I need a 2 to 1. So whatever my risk is, right? I'm 2 times that on my TP, right? So that's a 10 pips. So I'm 20 pips. 3 to 1 is 30, 4 to 1 is 40, 5 to 1 is, you know, is 50, and so on and so forth, right? So if you look at that move, the move went, it's 24 to this downside to this low was 39, right? So you'd at least got a 3 to 1 out of that. And then you can move your stop down, right? If you're playing aggressive, however you want to, right? Then it's just about trade management. Break even. Oh, I got to break on the outer trend line, right? Okay. Break on the outer trend line. I got to pull back and continue down. You can just continue to move your stop if you want to. All right. So that's how you can play these as well. All right. The key is that you're in position for the move. All right. Up to you to figure out what type of trader you want to be. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna move on from this one if we're all good. But I hope that helps some people out. Okay. So move on to the Aussie Swiss. Just gonna move on down the line. All right. So we move on to our Aussie Swiss.
Hey, Benny, real quick.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you make me co-host, please?
Okay. Yeah. Hold on one second, man. There you go. Good?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. No problem. All right. So here we are on this one, right? Still got that one drawn, right? That crown that was drawn from a while ago that we played to the downside. Okay. That was a beautiful move. So we can see how our C becomes our new A and our D becomes our new B, right? Nice and clean. That's as clean as you're gonna get. A beautiful pull back to the 61.8 zone up against the trend line and back down to the downside. It created a crown, right? So if you look at that there, price, right? Price broke our trend line, took out the A, took out the low, and then it pulled back. There's your crown to the downside, okay? That key reversal point, just to kind of build off of what we were talking about last night. All right, so here we are. We're still moving, right? On this Aussie Swiss, Swissy safe haven, we're in risk on. Commodity currencies tend to do well doing risk on, and we're just moving on up, right? So we're almost a TP3 on this, but that's a beautiful V reversal there, right? Doesn't really get any better than that. Gave us the same thing here. The market does the same thing over and over again, right? Look at that. Okay, so this is where we are on the Aussie Swiss, still moving up. We're still within this down AB boundary. If we look at the daily, right? Okay, we may press up, take out this A and press back to the trend line. We don't know. If we do that, right? If we zoom out, I don't know where I left it. I have to go back through and reset that up. But we've got a 786 retracement, didn't quite get an 86. And as we talked about yesterday, we can see if we can get this push to the upside. If it takes out our A and breaks the trend line, then we could be looking at that up push zone for the Aussie. And then you're looking at that C to D long-term move here, B boundary, 118, 127. Okay, we continue bullish after that. But right now, we're still in that down AB boundary, pushing up. So if we start to run, right, potential type 2 setups, if we start to run trades to the upside, fibs to the upside, right? Look at that. ABCDs, ABCDs. Same, you can't make it up, guys. Look. Past resistance, B boundary, becoming future support at a 61.8. Powerful. Look at the huge bullish candle that came off of there. Okay, look at that push up, right? Things to look out for. We know that the B boundary, strong resistance level typically. Right in confluence with a 61.8. Look at the bullish engulfing candle. It engulfed, right? Almost 3 of the previous bearish candles. And then from there, you're up. If you see this, right? If you're not in a trade and say this is a fresh move, and you ever see this right here, it doesn't get any better than that. You got to take the shot on that one, right? So if you weren't already riding that up to the upside, when you see something like that, that's textbook. That's textbook. Okay. So you got to move to the downside too, the B to C move, right? So you really got 2 TPs on this is what we call a type 2 fib, because it's not our main fib, right? Our main fib is this down AB fib, and then we've got these what we call these sub fibs running to the upside. So this is a type 2, what we like to call a type 2 type setup, because it's like a secondary fib. And look, so if you play that reversal, right? TP1, TP2, think about it. If you take this, and I know you all are hitting the charts hard, so a lot of times you just get on the charts and spread your fibs out and see. So if we go to the 15-minute, okay? You go to the 15-minute. So here was that move. But let's clear this out. So you guys had to play this on the lower time frames. You go down to the 15, and you see these fibs moving, okay? And you're saying, look, I want to get in and get out, right? If you're that type of trader, okay? Just to show you how our method can even help you in that situation, okay? I'm gonna use this fib to identify my B boundary, okay? That's our bat signal. So we zoom in, here was the play, okay? So if I start running my fib to the upside like so, okay? Got to respect that there. That's the second touch straight through. Okay, if you're learning how to draw your trend lines, take it from that second touch, start to work your inner trend line. What is that showing you? That's showing you that price and momentum, right? The momentum is building to the upside when you start getting multiple trend lines in the direction. Now, we zoom in, okay? I've used this to identify my B boundary. Here it is, okay? Like so. Even if I wanted to take this off like that, I now have my setup. Okay. Here. There. There's my second touch straight through. Zoom in. Make this real big. All right. So everybody can see it. Okay. There. Okay. I can take this straight through the top if I want to. Right? Like that. However you want to do it. Here's my swing high. 2 candles to the left, 2 candles to the right. I got a bearish break on that. Okay. Here's my stop, right? Up above the high where I place it. $15-minute candle closes. Backside of the trend line. Okay. There you go. Okay. So, what's my risk on that trade? Call it 10 pips, right? I'm at 17 there. I'm at 35 there. All right. And it pushed down. So if you're the type of trader, hey, I like these tight setups, I'm willing to sit and wait. There was a setup. Okay. Everybody get that? Drop me a 2 in the chat. Any feedback on that? Is that pretty cool or what?
Question came through, Benny. Can you show where you started your capital equivalent at 1 hour time frame?
Yeah.
Harlar said his was different from yours.
Right here at the low. Right there at the low. Right here at the swing low below the B boundary, right there. Good? Got it?
Yep, I think we're good, bro.
All right. All right. So let's keep it moving.
Hold on. He said, I mean from the top. So the where your crown pattern is there. But those are just the fibs that you started from the top of the move.
Correct. Yeah. Here. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna keep rocking and rolling, and we go and we take a look. Right here's an Aussie yen. You got a brand new AB boundary. Okay, some TPs. I think I posted this, right? I posted that in the Telegram. I think I was
posted in the Telegram, and Desi posted in the community too.
Awesome.
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
See, one big mastermind. That's awesome. Awesome. Thanks for posting that, Desi. All right. So we got a brand new AB boundary, right? So if we zoom out, look at what's going on, right? It's just reversing. It's just reversing. Almost identical, right, to what we had before. I could take this same fib just like I just did on the last pair, right? If you erase the pair and you looked at the price action, looks almost identical, right? You could take this fib down to the 15, play it just like we did the last one. We've got a new AB boundary, right? You can play the B to C. If you're overall bull, you only want to roll with the current trend that's going on. Then you may wait for a low price and look to enter that trade, right? Enter that trade long. So that's where we are on the Aussie yen. Nice and easy, right? Set your charts up, let it come to you, right? Never open up your chart and just trying to figure out what to do, right? Prepare for the game ahead of time. Okay, there we go. That's the current price action. So write that one down. That's your Aussie yen. All right, keep moving through. Take a look at the Aussie yen ZD. Okay. Zoom out. Take this off. See better. We got a down AB boundary, right? Potential 80-20. Okay, we went over this briefly yesterday, but now look at the setup since it reversed, right? Yesterday I asked Ryan, are you in this already? Yes, sir. I'm in it already, right? So Ryan took his setup here at the B boundary, okay? B boundary, 118, 127 zone, right? So you're about break even on that first one, okay? We had, who was the last night that asked me about this monthly level, right? I remember talking about that.
I remember talking about it. I don't remember who asked that question though.
It was a gentleman, but he asked me like, hey, if I take it here, can I reduce the trade there, being that that's a monthly level? Yes, absolutely, right? And then you can kind of scale back in if it continues to move up, or you could try to play right through it. So if you're not in on this, right? If you're not in on this already, maybe see if you can get a pullback on this sub fib. Okay, so write this one down, your Aussie NZD. See if you can get a low price on your sub fib, and then catch the move back up, right, to that 38.2. right? Which is kind of in confluence with that same zone with the 1.618D extension. So if you pull back to your 61.8 area and you take it up to around that zone, right? That's an 80 pip move to the D extension. A little bit more if you take it to the 382. All right, so that's the Aussie and ZD. All right, so these beginning of the month now. These are some pairs, right? They have that potential. They have that potential. They always have that potential, okay, to end up like this, right? You kind of have to see your way forward. It doesn't seem like it'll get here when it starts here, but it made it, right? So we have to pay attention to that. We have to be prepared to see that opportunity, okay? So look, here it is, okay? Push down, shallow retracement, less than a 382, okay? We didn't quite get a 382 on that. Hit the 236, consolidated, push down, bears one, right? Matter of fact, that was a fundamental, and it pushed down and just, I mean, it put the brakes on right at the 127. All right, and then we've got a reversal. So I mean, off that level, right? Off that level, you're already up 53 pips. Never looks like a whole lot amongst all the mess, but that's already up 53 pips. Okay, off that 118, 127 zone. So keep an eye on that one. See if you can get a low price and continue long. Right. Moving on to the Aussie dollar. All right. Take a look at this. Look at that, right? We went over this yesterday, how we can pull that larger fib down, and we can see that it's continuing to push up through the zone. You got a morning star right off that B boundary. Decision bearish to the downside, indecision, and then a decision bullish, right? It's a beautiful signal from the daily time frame, and then look at the push up, okay? So off that morning star formation, off that close, right? That's pushed up over 160 pips to the upside. So what does that look like to the downside? This is what it looks like, guys. You can't make this stuff up. Now, drop me a 2 in the chat if you see that within these Aussie pairs, the moves are similar. Anybody see that?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. It's not by chance. So you could play the 1 hour fib. So if you were coming and you ran your 1 hour fibs down a smaller wave like we talked about yesterday, you can see your A got taken out, right? And then you got a nice correction and then a push up back here to the upside, right? So our A got taken out. So that's another way that you can see it. If you're using the lower time frame, those smaller waves, and we've talked about that before. Or, okay, you can look at it like this, how we also did it, right? Remember how we also did it is we said, hey, this is the larger wave, the larger fib. You have the ability to do this, right? Okay. Like this, okay? And look, we're almost to the 61.8 on that larger time frame fib. All right, so here, right, our 382 on our daily fib was higher, right, than the 8 boundary on that previous fib. Okay, so that previous fib was something like this, like that, and it took out the A, right? It took out the A. Okay, and then it continued up. But if you look at it, just means that hey, it's pushing higher, but it's retracing higher on the daily time frame. And here's that TP2 that's right in line with that D extension. But in the near term, okay, in the near term, this is one to keep an eye on. Write this one down because we didn't quite get a 382 pullback, did we? Didn't quite get a 382 pullback. Here's your 236. Here's your 382. Price broke the B boundary, and you're starting to see that we're getting a reaction. We're getting a reaction off that 127 zone. Okay, so if I highlight this here, like so, check something real fast. If I highlight this here, and we clear this chart, and I don't even really need to highlight it. We know where it's at, right? So here's the move. We can shrink it down. So Just like that. All right. We start running our trend lines like that. And we always do this for good practice, right? It's all about repetitions and getting the reps in, because we know, right? We could see this inner trend line from the beginning without doing all that, but it's about practice and repetition. So look, here's one of those 127 plays, okay? That if you played the short, right? Even without drawing that aggressive trend line, you could. But look, that looks like that's going in our favor, doesn't it? See? All right. If you wanted to play it more aggressively off the high, okay. There. Okay. So if you play it, if you eliminate that, you play it off this break here. Okay. It's still right now, right? It's up 10, 11 pips. Okay. So depending on how aggressive you wanted to be with it, right? Here's your stop up above this high here. Okay. So if you entered off this break, like so, hey, I wasn't convinced. I enter off this break here. Then we're doing what? We're just looking. We've got to look for at least that 2-to-1 push. 17 pips, so I need 34. Where's our TP1 off the 1 hour fib? We drag that down like this. Like that. Oops. Come back here. That's giving me 70, right? That continues down to TP1. That's how you see this, right? That's how you go from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. So even if you're like, man, Benny, I'm a scalper. I'm in and out. I don't have time for this stuff. All right, well, you can still use the fibs to set you up for the U-turn. All right. So that's, come on now, right? Is that a great set? Is that a, that's a good looking setup?
Yep.
Right. So even, you know, if you you start to run your fibs to the downside, you got a 786 pullback. Here's your first D extension at the 127. Then if it wants to continue down, if it forms a low, then somewhere around here, this is going to be your C. D extension is hit, low forms. You're going to get a new fib. Okay. Price runs back and then continues down if that's what it wants to do, right? That's how you use these fibs to put you in the game. All right. So this is one just to keep an eye on here. All right. So if you go from the 1 hour and you look at support, support is way down here, but we know in your 15, this area here is going to be a nice area there. So if we go to the 15 and start putting our support and resistance levels in, you'll see them come into play. See, there, there, there. All right. So there you go. That's the Aussie dollar. All right. Any questions before we move on?
None in the chat.
We're gonna keep rocking and rolling. So let's take a look at let's see where we're at with Bitcoin real fast. It's Bitcoin. Look at it off this daily, right? That pretty much double bottom has been pushing up ever since, right? So it's looking like we drew this up a long time ago at 50,000 and it looked like it got it, right? Off the 382 shallow, off the daily, right? So they hit it on the nose and then it started pushing sideways on us. Fibs are powerful, everybody, no doubt. So what that looks like on the one is that the momentum was so strong, we didn't even get a 382 pullback. It just pushed up to that level. That 50,000 was coming in confluence with our 1 hour D extension. And it did what we thought it was going to do. Who was that? Dennis Green, Ryan? They were who we thought they were.
They were who we thought they were.
So we're there. So it's there. All right. So there's the Bitcoin play. Look at the cash Swissy. All right. So eventually we're going to get a new AB boundary on that Bitcoin. See if we can get a pullback. All right. So we go to the 15 here. This is your cash Swissy. Here's your cash Swissy. Here's that down move. that we tracked, which are 1 hour fibs. It took this A out, right? So this was a smaller play, okay, way back when, not too long ago. But here's your reversal up against daily support, 382, 61.8, A boundary got taken out, and it's been pushing up ever since. So everything we teach you, whether it's the fib, it ties in everything, right? Your harmonics, your Elliott wave, your Elliott wave counter, right? You see the waves, okay? You see the waves happening, all right? So look, here we are. This is the CAD Swiss. We know that it's starting to move around a little bit. We know the Swissy, right? Safe haven currency. It's got a little weak. The CAD is dealing with the oil plus some other economic data type things. So it's kind of pushing sideways right now. But if it wants to continue up, it'll push up to this D extension. So right now, kind of just moving sideways, hands off on that. Really no play right now. But if you go to the daily, right, you can see what it's doing, right? So look, larger waves, smaller waves, right? So I don't think this was the high. Yeah, it was. So here, look at how it's moving around. Look at this high. Look at this low. That's another wave, right? That's another wave. So in essence, right, this is nothing. All those smaller, all of these here, these ABCD waves here on the fib fall within that one wave on the daily, right? So if you take these off like so, and you come here and you pull these down like that, all right, and you track it down, okay, you'll get that look. See? All right. So we know that smaller wave got taken out. That smaller AB fib got taken out. It took out the A and it pushed up. What that represents on the higher time frame is just retracing deeper within that down AB boundary on that fib we just drew, right? So pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think it's fascinating, especially how it does the same thing over and over again. So that's it on the Swissy. Just moving sideways right now. If we come in here and we look at our CAD yen play, right? It's the CAD versus the yen. We got a trend line break. All right, I got a stochastic back in the buy zone though. We're through two TPs on this CAD yen. Look at that beautiful V reversal off the B boundary. Beautiful setup. So if we want to start running our sub fibs here, like so. Oops, didn't draw that right. Okay, look at that. Again, okay, can't make this stuff up. Here's your AB boundary. If you wanted to take that down to the 15, look at the move that you got off the B boundary, okay? B to C move for 93 pips, okay? Nice movement. Now we're at TP2 moving sideways. We're moving sideways. We got a strong bearish candle, but I don't know if that's going to continue to push down yet or not. Don't know, to be honest with you. I'm kind of hands off of that. I'm through with the setup. We'll see how it goes. If it continues to move up or not, we need to see. All right. So if it's going to move down, if I'm looking for this CAD to get weak against this yen, right? Oil continues to drop, then I'm looking at this support level here. Okay. Right here. This support level. So if it's going to go short on me because of the currencies that we're dealing with, I'm looking at this level right here. Okay. If I can push down, this is just a TP, right? So if this is if I can get a push down, right? Like so. Push down, a break. Okay. And a pullback, which will give me a fib going the other way. Then I may look, right, to take a shot on that to the downside. If that CAD is going to get weak, if oil decides to make a move, strong move to the downside. But not quite so, right? And even this move here be aggressive, right? I would rather it go here, right? Okay. Strong low here. See that last push and then explosion and impulse move up, kind of like what we looked at in the very beginning, right? With the crown. But I would love to see that taken out, right? But may play it aggressive here, see if we can get a move, and then if it takes out that level, takes out this level, And then once it pushes down and takes out this level and it pulls back, maybe look to add to the trade. But that's seeing like way in the future, but not quite sold on it yet. To be ready for it to make a push down, I need to see some levels broken. So this is a support level here. Okay. And a level here. All right. So maybe if we clear this, right? You got a level here. That's a low, but it's kind of smooth. It's a lot smoother ride, right? Because of this impulse move to the upside, smooth ride up. If we break these levels, it could be a continuation and a smoother ride to the downside. But this is all bumpy right here. So I want to see some levels start to get broken before I make the commitment to say, okay, I'll think about taking it short. But I'm not quite sold. My stochastic's still long on that. So that's where we are. That's where we are. If we go to the higher time frame, right? Here's that move. We didn't get that 382 yet, right? We didn't get that 382, that daily 382. So if I pull out here and zoom out and go to this level here, here's that 382. We're not quite there. All right, not quite there on that daily 382. We've had that mark for quite some time. We got a nice pullback in the zone, right? So our projection is down, but because of all this choppiness and because it's the CAD yen, it's a safe haven, maybe things change with the non-form that comes out. That yen has been weak. We know why the CAD is showing a little weakness right now. Just want to see it clear some levels first. Everybody got me on that? So we're kind of a wait and see, right? So up through TP2 now is a wait and see to see if it's going to reverse.
Michelle says she's in this pair.
Still long or short?
She's short. She's up 50 pips. Michelle, did you get off the break of the aggressive trend line on the 15-minute on the high on that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was where I got in. I was looking on the daily, and I drew my trend line above, like coming down on the sub fibs, like in the retracement. So I'm like, oh, on my stochastic, on my daily, it's showing that it's for a sell. I didn't really see the one on your screen. You see, but yours, oh yeah. So I'm, oh, maybe for today. So I was like looking at this and thinking about like the daily. Like, well, today it could push down because on my trend line, it kind of rejected off, but I don't know. I might just take it out because
no, do not second guess yourself. Do not do that. We're thinking the same, because it may give you an opportunity to add to your trade, right? Add to your trade. We know we're in an Asian session, right? So this cycle here, with this being in the buy zone, could be a cycle through consolidation, right? Yeah. So you have to. That's one thing that you have to pay attention to. Do not. That's a beautiful move that you're short already on that, off of an aggressive trend line break from looking at the higher time frame. That's a beautiful play, right? That's a beautiful play, right? I'm looking at this in real time now where price is, right?
Yeah.
So if you've been in this earlier, like, so I took this up to the upside through TP2, start moving sideways, got out. So now if you're looking at the reversal, it depends on where you see it. So at the time that you saw it, if you had this opportunity, can't argue that, not one bit. You're in profit. How can you argue it, right? Yeah. How can you argue it? Now, right, you just continue to monitor the trade, right, and see if it continues to the downside, because that's an A+ entry that you got.
And then I'm like, oh, on the 1 hour, that bearish candle, that was pretty strong on the hour. So I'm like, all right, I have to write it a little longer to see like more confirmation. And I know the stochastic looks a little crazy, but then the daily stochastic, I was like, maybe that's more powerful because it's more data. So it's on the day. So I'm like, yo, one more day. Let me see.
Yeah.
That happen.
Yeah, right. You can draw a down trend line on that and ride it down, right? Just don't make your trend line too aggressive. Yeah. Right. Don't make it real aggressive. Right. Just so you can monitor it. Don't make it too aggressive, right? Let it continue to push down. But I mean, you're in profit. So at the time that you saw it and you caught that, that's beautiful, right? So
yeah, old me would have done a big lot size, and like the new me is like, all right, small lot size. We're gonna wait for the move, but the old me still creeps in like, dang, that's 50 pips, yo. You would have been like,
hey, hey, listen. There's nothing wrong with that thought process. Like I know some just assassins, right? That they're going in when they go in.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to be.
But they develop that mindset over time, but they know they can stomach, those laws. Like, okay, I lost 800, I lost 600. They're good, right? It all depends on it's percentage period, right? Regardless of the size of your account, but their accounts are a lot larger. So that $800 hit, $1,000 hit, they're like, all right, they don't mind losing 6 trades, right? 6 trades in a row. So that's what we're alluding to earlier. So it just depends on. That's why I wanted to cover that 15-minute chart, because I know we have people in the circle that are from all walks of life, and it just depends on your trade psychology and where you are in your journey, right? And I know Ryan talks about that a lot.
This is way better. Thank you, Benny, so much, for real, because this is way better than the stress of getting in for 30 pips real quick. Like, no, this is like helping me with that. I'm like, all right, I know I can do the quick in and out, but I don't want the stress that comes with that. So right now, this is the way. But
correct.
All right, so let's see what happens tomorrow. I'll keep you posted on this trade.
You're welcome. And I was in the same boat you were. Like, man, I know I can do it, but do I want to continue with the stress? And just like me and Ryan were talking about earlier, like, can you be consistent at it, and is it duplicatable, right?
Yes.
It's duplicate. It's cool that you got that one hit 'em quit 'em for 90,000, but over time, is that duplicatable, and can your heart take it?
Yes.
So it's just so we try to show people, both ways, and then it's going to be totally up to that person and how they approach the market. But the setups are there. The setups are there. I just believe in just scaling in, right? I can get the 2-3 standard scaling into the trade, over time.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. Instead of doing the $2 lot, boom. I'm trying to just be like, all right, look, let's build it over time. And the way you guys have shown me in the past 2 months is that it's there. I've seen it every day. And it's like me getting in and out has given me anxiety when, someone has caught the whole thing. I'm like, all right, wait. Like, no, I mean, but when you get in on a big lot, you see the money. But with this, I don't know, it's like more of a guarantee. I don't know how to describe it, but it's all in my mind. Yeah. But thank you anyway.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it's me and Ryan were discussing it earlier. It's about let the trade breathe, just let it breathe. Don't try to force it, because you have the ability to scale into that trade, right? Some people, just a different mindset. That's all. Yep. But awesome. Thanks for the feedback on that. So here we are on the Swiss yen. All right, and we can see from the daily, right, off this fib I've got running, been playing around with this thing, and we can see we're moving to the downside ultimately, right? In this range is what we're hoping it breaks this range, but I was just playing from the top to the bottom of the range, up fib and then down, right? So we're looking to the down. I actually need to just leave it there, right? But we're in a range, so up, right? Upside to the downside, however you want to play it. I was playing around with this earlier. We're just in that range here, moving around. So this is what I have boxed out. So it's a strong push down, and then it's just chopping sideways on us, right? But then we kind of found some support here, and it started moving up, right? So you kind of just have to roll with the fib action if you're going to play that, right, on your lower time frames like this. So this here, we played this reversal to the upside. We got TP2, and then it's just pushing sideways, right? And then we'll see. It's moving sideways. Ultimately, we like to see this push down. At least that's me. I'd like to see that continue to short. But it was a nice play here to the upside, moving sideways. So we'll kind of see if these levels start to get broken, right? You got support levels here because we're moving sideways. It's choppy right now. And it makes sense. It's the Swissy with the yen, 2 safe havens, right? So we'll see if it starts to break those levels to the downside and look to go short. But There's a good move to the upside through TP2, and then it just started to move sideways from there. So really no play. I'd like to see some more commitment to the downside if it's going to drop on that one. So that's it. That one's not too exciting on the Swiss yen right now. We'll take a look at Ethereum. All right. And we still got this move, right? We look at the daily. This momentum has been so strong. No 382, just a straight push, right? To this 127. It's an 80-20 type setup. Is push beyond. So at this point, I'd like to see it just push to this D extension here, a little over 4,000, and then we'll hit the reset button from there. All right, but we're moving in today. We got a little bullish movement there, but we will see. But we've been checking this off this double bottom, right, straight to the upside. But we go down to the 1, and we can see that it's just been a strong push, right, to the upside here. Okay. I don't know. Keep an eye on this one. And I'm coming off that daily. That small, like we're formed a high there. So let's see. That's a swing high. That's a resistance level. So I kind of take that back. Watch out for this one. You get a trend line break on that, it may push down to the back to the downside. Let me look at something here. Still in the buy zone. Keep your eye on it. You may get a retracement, right? I mean, if that candle was large, right? If it tries to retest that candle, right? That candle was a huge move. See if it takes it back, or at least part of it, 3/4 of it. That would give you your retracement, right, to the downside here. So keep an eye on that one. That's a 80-20 setup. All right. Just been that momentum has been pretty strong, but you may be due for a correction. So watch Ethereum, everybody. Watch the price. Even if you don't trade it, just watch the price action on that. Watch the price action on that, because we got a huge bullish candle right up to the 127, and then your candles got smaller, right? It's a fight going on there a little bit, and then we've got a swing high that formed for a resistance level. So watch that one. All right, look how that bullish candlestick just put the brakes on right at that level. Bears tried to take over, but the bulls came back in the game. So watch that one. That's it on Ethereum. Take a look at the Euro Aussie. And we can see that we've got a move happening on this one. Okay. So pay attention to this one, because we got to push up to the 236. And then we didn't. We got the break of the B boundary, but then it reversed again, right? So maybe we get a little bit of choppy here. Not sure. But if you wanna play this and you're saying, hey, that's a hot mess, then maybe you kind of just wait to see if you can get a push down to your 118, 127 zone, then look to take it from there on your Euro Aussie. Okay. If you're not already in on this off the B boundary, trading small, right? If you are, cool, because it's just dancing around a bit, maybe it'll push up. But if you're super conservative, maybe you say, hey, I don't like the way that price action looks, and you just wait for it to see if you can get it a further push down for a more discounted price before you look to buy. So it'd be boundary type of action there, okay? And then your 118, 127 zone there. So that's your Euro Aussie. Any questions on that? No?
No, sir.
All right. There we go. So that's the Euro Aussie. Got a new AB boundary though. New AB boundary. Okay. There you see, look, sometimes you get the sideways push, right? And then it moves to the upside, right? For almost 80 pips on that one. So that's our Euro Aussie. Take a look at our Euro CAD. All right. So look, we threw 2 TPs on this. All right. 2 TPs. Okay. We're right at TP2. We got a brand new AB boundary. You guys should write that one down. All right. brand new AB boundary. Write that one down, right? So you had a potential there, you know, for potential TP1, TP2. If you don't like this here, because the distance on that, this is a Euro CAD, right? So let's see. That's 40 pips, 73 pips, 121, right? If it breaks this B boundary and pushes up, you got to play there, right at the 118, 127. So new AB boundary is the signal. It's kind of dancing around. Stochastic, right? It's coming out of the overbought zone, right? So it's in the sell zone and it's just moving sideways. Asian session could be funny. But that's a potential setup there. Okay. Told you guys we had a lot to go over tonight. For sure. A lot of things setting up. All right. Okay. So it's the Euro CAD, right? We know the Euro got a little strength and pop to it as of late. The CAD, we're dealing with the oil, but I'm not quite sold on the CAD being weak, right? Or getting weak over the medium term. Okay, so not quite sold on that yet, but we'll see. So if you're taking this to the upside, right? You took this trade to the upside, this swing, another beautiful 80-20 play. You're at TP2. Now we're sitting in a situation where you can kind of play that counter to that to the downside. All right. So maybe you put your B boundary entry, your 118, 127 entry. If you're looking to be a bear, trade that B to C. If you think it's going to continue up, let it pull back to your low price anyway before you look for any type of confluence and confirmation to buy. But this is the real-time setup here. Brand new AB boundary. You're at a TP2, which is right in confluence with a 61.8 pullback. So we expect some type of price action there. That's the Euro CAD. Any questions? No?
No, sir.
All right. Ryan, I had coffee at 5:30. I'm just putting that out there, y'all.
I want to go, man.
So, Euro Swissy, we'll close out these.
They were who they thought you was, you know. They was who you. Yeah, I seen that interview. I seen that interview too.
They're funny. That's funny. So here's a Euro Swissy. We know that Swissy is weak, safe haven, right? Showing some weakness. Look at this play here, right? Beautiful W, pushing back up. Here's the 382 on that daily, right? So I'm running this off this sub fib, but if we zone out, you can see that this is here. I'll show you guys, right? Uh-oh, I just moved my weekly level. Dang, I had to go back on that. So look at this, okay? Look at this move. Look at that, right? So you guys see the potential in that? See that? Look. Okay.
Did anybody ride this move up back to the upside? Was I the only one that stayed in this move? It was like the 16th, 17th of August.
Yeah.
Did anybody stay in this move?
Yeah, I did.
Me too. I just took profit on it this afternoon.
Yeah.
23rd, 22nd, 23rd.
We getting anything?
Move to the upside. Nope.
No. There you go, Ryan. All right, there you go. There you go, my man. Look at that. Right. So that's taken out. Look at this swing. Write that down. You got a Euro Swiss brand new AB boundary, everybody. Brand new AB boundary, everybody. All right. We're calling them out. All right. Decide how you want to play it. Okay. Brand new AB boundary. Euro Swissy. Okay. So we're moving up. All right. We got it drawn on 2 levels. And right now, this would be that right tip. Okay. Let's try to reverse off this level and push up. So here's that 382 on this current fib. That's right here. All right. Let me head down to the downside, like so. Somewhere around there. Like that. Link that down. So maybe it continues to chase that level. And we come down here to the downside. Look, we've got a break of an outer trend line. All right. And what's that the level? 108.80. Yep, 108.80. Right. It's right there. Sitting right there. Okay. That's that level. So we can look for the potential of a pullback here, which that'll give us the B2C move. And we're looking at the Euro Swissy. That Swissy stays weak. Euro continues to pop. Once you get a low price, if you're a bull, then you look long to that level and beyond, right? What would be beautiful is if we got a nice pullback, 786 level, then that'll put us right in range for that. Let me see something here. Yeah, it'd be nice if we can get that. The push to the downside, right? Yeah. So maybe we get 2 TPs on that. We'll see. Right. So if you like that B2C play, okay. If we like that B2C play there, right? Look for the downside move. Okay. Maybe we get that push to the upside. Give us that clean, right, move, and then back down, right? But if you're a bull, you just wait for your low price. However, it gets down to this level. Doesn't matter to you if you're only a bull. You just wait for your low price and then you look to go long. So Euro Swissy. That's it on that. Euro GBP. Look at this. Ooh, clean. We might as well look for a D extension potentially on that one. All right. Euro got strong, right? Still in the buy zone. 2 TPs, right? Off that daily fib that's pulled down. Took out the A, right? On that smaller 1 hour fib. And it's just moving on up. Right?
Anybody still holding this one?
I'm out.
This has been a kind of a slow mover, but
yeah, I'm out. It's definitely slow. Look at the ATR on that, man. I hope that improves. I hope
I'm still sitting in it.
Yeah. I'm out, man. Hey, you're killing it. You are killing it. It's doing this thing. Patience pays for sure. Look at that. Wow.
This one is for sure like watching paint dry sometimes.
Man, 31.8. I hope that speeds up come fall, man. 31.8. But it's moving now. Euro JPY. All right, all right. Take a look at the Euro JPY. Here we go. Look at that. Look, now we're in the Euro pairs, right? Look at the movement on all of them. This is why we take the time and we mark up our charts on 20-something pairs, right? Look at the price action on them. Some slower, some a little bit faster. But that's your Euro. Look at that. Let's do 2 TPs, 3 TPs, right? That's a 50% pullback. We projected the extension. Once we get this D extension here, right, you'll get a new fib to form somewhere when that high forms. That's what we're looking for. Then we continue. We continue to play the game accordingly. Look at it. Look at that reversal off of that. So we didn't quite get that D extension. We got within range of it though. 99. Sometimes it does that. But now we've got a push up. This is a resistance level here, which makes sense, right? If that finishes out, you can start to get a high that form at this level. You're going to have a new AB boundary to the upside on this daily one too. Euro JPY makes sense, right? Euro got some strength. Okay, good economic data that came out. And the yen is a safe haven currency, even though the Japanese yen got a boost earlier this week with some good economic data out of Japan. But overall, you see which one of the two currencies is the strongest. So that's where we are. We're kind of in a wait and see on that one. Kind of in a wait and see. Not gonna mess with it. so close to that D extension. Even if I start dropping sub fibs off of that, we got this pullback, but don't want to play it. It's too close. All right. So that's where we are. Euro NZD. Check it out. And this is where we are. So this was a play a while back, right? The move here. Got some TVs, then it took a wild ride up to the 127 zone, then it came back down. So this is where we are. This is pushing sideways. I set it up. I didn't take this trade though. Didn't take it. But you got to be boundaries pushing sideways. Probably adjust this trend line here later. This is pushing sideways through the trend line, but it's not that 40 pips, TP1, 90, 186 back to the outer trend line into that TP3. So I may adjust that out. I don't know if I'm gonna play it, but it's an opportunity nonetheless. It's choppy right now. Choppy. We know the New Zealand been pretty strong. The euro has been pretty strong, and this is what you get: a sideways push, right? But eventually somebody wins. Somebody will win out, break this high, maybe break this low, maybe. Don't know it's pushing sideways. You put a small lot size in at the B boundary on that, right? Maybe you take the play on that. You take the shot. I'm not in it. Ryan, you in this one? Euro NZD?
No, I didn't take this.
Yeah, I didn't take this one either. So there's the setup for the Euro NZD. You got a brand new B boundary, but it's dancing around, right? Dancing around. You got a huge move off that B boundary. That was kind of whippy nasty right there. So it's been moving sideways ever since. It's Euro NZD, Euro USD. All right, take a look at it. Brand new AB boundary. You should get a retracement on this, right? Anybody in on this retracement? Anybody pick up on that one earlier?
Yes, sir.
I did. I'm in that one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm in that one.
All right. So you got your TP levels here. Euro USD. Just keep it in mind. Hey, Friday we got non-farm, so we'll see what the dollar's gonna do. If the numbers come through garbage for the dollar, then you're already positioned short anyway.
Benny,
so
Benny, one thing though, like we put that, y'all put that in the Telegram, but it was on the previous Fed. So I've been in the I've been in it for a minute.
Yeah, that was on the what's what you use for a stop loss?
I think I use 100 pips.
You use 100, so you didn't quite hit it yet. So we'll see if it
No.
continues to short. Yeah, that depending on where your stop loss was, that one missed. It just moved side. Here it is, right here. It moved sideways. It's the one that I posted. We didn't quite. It just moved sideways. It didn't give us what we wanted because that euro got strong. That economic data came out, pushed the euro up. Dollar got weak. It retraced deeper. So it was a play that, if you're using a wide stop, you still got love for it. You're in it, and you're gonna at least get some of that back. If it continues down, you're gonna eventually move into profit. But if you're using a tighter stop loss on that, right? You got stopped out on that one. But
no, I'm still what I was gonna say. I was just gonna take the L because I thought it was just gonna keep on because the euro got so strong. I didn't think it was gonna come back down.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, sometimes you're the bug and sometimes you're the windshield. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, so that's what happened. Because I didn't see that euro strength coming. I didn't. That one got me. Yeah, good economic numbers came out, and then and it pushed up. So yeah, man, that one didn't. But right, you look at your law alternating retracements, right? You don't typically, a lot of times when you don't get that deep retracement, that next fib tends to give you a deeper retracement. So we'll see how this plays. We'll see how it plays. But yeah, I used a wide stop loss on that one too. But we shall see. All right, we shall see. Yeah, it was this fib right here. Yeah, I thought for sure too when it started pushing down. I took that trade off the B boundary. I'm like, this is gonna be lovely. But oh no, didn't happen. So that's the Euro USD. And I think hold on. I think I got place to these real quick. Look at these. Quick look at the NZD CADs. Right. That one's pushing. That one's gonna go. That one hit the D extension. Right. You got a 382 off of that one. Then a D extension. That was done. So the NZD-CAD, that move is done. That one gave it a quick pullback to the 382 and hit that D. So keep an eye on this one, because this one will be forming a new fib here sooner or later. So NZD-CAD and Swissy. All right. There's a Swissy play there. You got a 382 and it's pushing up. Keep a close eye on that. Keep a close eye on that. See how that price action seems like it's trying to, you know, it's consolidating and may want to push deeper. So keep an eye on that one. And NZD-JPY. And there you got a new AB boundary on that one too. All right. And the price action took the A out right here on a higher time frame fib as well. So keep an eye on that. NZD-JPY, and wrap it up with the New Zealand dollar, right? Potential play on that one. So in September, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot out there in the field to play. Didn't even go through all of them, right? That's why you should jump back on at 7 a.m. tomorrow with my man Ryan Carthage.
Benny, I feel like you went through all of them. What you mean you didn't go through?
I didn't.
That was a lot of pairs.
You got all the GBP pairs.
Wow.
Still got to cover those.
But a lot of things I see, like, it is a difference. I see, like, a lot of stuff is setting up. So,
yep.
All right.
It runs in cycles. So we're rocking and rolling. So those are some setups. And Ryan will have even more tomorrow on the GBP pairs and looking at the progress, right, at these other setups that we just talked about tonight as we head towards non-farm payrolls, right? So gotta get the mental reps, gotta get the visual reps. That's why it's important, right? If you can't attend them live, you gotta make sure that you're watching the recording so you can see it. And then you can do it. And then it becomes automatic, right? It becomes automatic. It won't take you any time to scroll through your charts 1 time, 2 times a day to see what's going on with the setups that you're in or the ones that you're looking to get into. All right. So with that being said, Ryan, anything to add?
No, man. Phenomenal session.
Appreciate it. So again, make sure 7 a.m. tomorrow, right? Tune in to Ryan's session to look at the progress of the pairs that we're talking about and also the pairs that we did not cover tonight. So any other questions before we log off?
No, sir.
No, sir. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So everybody have a great night. We'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.